Take just a second right now and think about the people in your life. You know, really look at your inner circle, your coworkers, your family. Who's that one person that just leaves you feeling totally uplifted, inspired, and ready to take on the world? And then on the flip side, who is the person that completely saps your energy? The one who leaves you desperately wanting a nap after literally a 5-minute conversation.
Well, welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're taking clinical psychological research and transforming it into a highly accessible, tactical survival manual. We're going to decode the fascinating and honestly, sometimes exhausting psychology behind the people who drain us. That's right, we are talking about energy vampires.
Okay, let's dive into our roadmap for this explainer. 1. Origins of the energy vampire. 2. Signs you've been drained. 3. The vampire field guide. 4. Protecting your energy. And 5. Are you the vampire? Drawing directly on the work of psychiatrist Dr. Judith Orloff and the experts at Healthline, an energy vampire is defined as a person who feeds on your willingness to listen and care. And it's absolutely crucial to understand here that these individuals often act out of their own unresolved trauma or insecurities, so they aren't always doing it on purpose. But make no mistake, the emotional and physical exhaustion they cause you, that is incredibly real.
Section 1. Origins of the energy vampire. Let's look at where this concept actually comes from. Now, what's really interesting about this is how the concept evolved over time. We start way back in 1930 with Dion Fortune writing about psychic parasitism. Then jump to the 1960s, and Anton LaVey popularized the term psychic vampire to describe spiritually weak people who drain vital energy. In the 1970s, musician Peter Hamill actually used the specific phrase energy vampires. He was using it to describe overly zealous, intrusive fans. And today, modern psychology and medical professionals have adopted the term as a highly effective metaphor to describe emotional drainers in our everyday lives. So it literally went from occult folklore straight into clinical psychology. How wild is that? Section 2. Signs you've been drained. So how do you actually know if you've just crossed paths with one? The symptoms of an energy vampire attack are surprisingly physical. According to our clinical sources, you might suddenly experience heavy eyelids, like literally feeling like you need an immediate nap. You might notice a sudden, inexplicable nosedive in your mood, or get this intense craving to binge on carbs and comfort food. Or maybe you just feel agitated, anxious, or put down. And here's the kicker. Even a super brief contact, like sharing a quick carpool or a fast family dinner, is completely enough to trigger these exact physiological reactions. Section 3, the Vampire Field Guide. If you're nodding along right now, it is time to identify exactly who is doing the draining. Categorizing these behaviors is your absolute first step to neutralizing them. So our first species is the narcissist. Their motto is simply, me first. They have this grandiose sense of self-importance, they completely hog the attention, and they genuinely lack empathy. Our sources warn that these vampires have a very limited capacity for unconditional love. You know, they can be incredibly charming right up until the exact moment their guru status is threatened. And then they become punishing. You might hear them say something exactly like this. So proud of you. Only 3 more certifications to go to catch up with me. Notice how they take your accomplishment and instantly diminish it, pivoting the spotlight right back to their own ego. It's a classic, totally draining move. Next up, we have species number 2, the victim. Their motto is, poor me. To them, the world is fundamentally unfair and always against them. They absolutely demand rescuing and will try to turn you into their personal unpaid therapist. They're constantly seeking a validation fix without ever actually taking responsibility. And if you dare to offer a logical solution, their favorite response is always, yes, but. The victim basically flings their catastrophe onto compassionate people. They'll dramatically sigh and say, I just can't take this anymore. Why am I always the one everyone gets mad at? I don't deserve this. It is highly dramatic, and if you're a naturally empathetic person, their endless tales of woe will just bleed your energy reserves completely dry. All right, species number 3 is the guilt tripper. These folks are world-class blamers and martyrs. They are experts, and I mean experts, at pressing your specific insecurity buttons. They exploit your fundamental desire to please them, or honestly, just your desire to be a good person. They use shame as a tactical weapon to make you feel about 2 inches tall. And this brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast between normal human emotion and toxic manipulation. Look, healthy remorse is when you regret a mistake, you apologize, you make amends, and you move forward. Guilt tripping, on the other hand, is a punishing fixation on mistakes. It's a reverse ego manipulation tactic used entirely to control you.
Section 4, protecting your energy, because identifying the problem is really only half the battle.
Now we need actionable, boundary-setting strategies based directly on our clinical sources. Dr. Orloff outlines a brilliant action plan here. Step 1, surrender your reactivity. Just pause when agitated. Step 2, practice restraint of tongue and critically restraint of text. Seriously, do not lash out. Step 3, blend, relax, and let go. Think of this like a martial arts Zen tactic. Instead of tensing up and absorbing their toxic energy, you stay neutral and literally breathe their anger out, just letting it flow right past you. Finally, step 4, set clear limits. So how does this translate into your everyday communication? Here's some rapid-fire tactical advice for impeccably handling drainers. First, avoid defensiveness at all costs. It actually makes you look weak to them. Second, use the iron hand in a velvet glove approach. Be incredibly kind but absolutely firm. Third, guard your nonverbal cues. Don't lean in or look overly sympathetic. You kind of have to stay stone-faced so they don't get an emotional hook into you. If you're dealing with a narcissist, well, you unfortunately have to frame your boundaries around what benefits their ego. And above all else, lower your expectations. You cannot fix them, but you absolutely can reshape your reactions to them.
We really have to contrast enabling with actual boundary setting here. Codependent enabling looks like trying to fix them, acting as their therapist, and ending up completely exhausted. Healthy boundaries look like listening for exactly 5 minutes, offering a kind but firm limit like, hey, I have to get back to work now, and then physically stepping away. Remember this profoundly true quote from Mahatma Gandhi referenced in our sources. A no uttered from deepest conviction is better and greater than a yes merely uttered to please.
Section 5. Are you the vampire? Let's gently shift the focus inward for a second. It's time for a little bit of honest self-reflection. Could you, maybe without even realizing it, be exhibiting some of these tendencies yourself? Ask yourself these questions honestly. In your relationships, do you do most of the talking? Are you the primary focus of most of your social interactions? Do you rely on your friends to meet every single emotional need you have? Do you constantly feel like a victim of circumstance? Look, if you're saying yes to some of these, don't panic. Realizing this is exactly half the battle, and it's a massive, courageous step toward your own emotional freedom.
If you want to stop draining others, here is your roadmap. Step 1, understand that friends simply cannot meet every single need. Step 2, find independent stress relief, things like spending time at nature, exercising, or journaling. Step 3, express genuine gratitude to the people who listen to you. Actually acknowledge their time. And step 4, seek professional support, like therapy, to work through the root causes. So the crucial point here is this: taking responsibility for your own emotional output is an incredibly empowering thing to do.
Which brings us to the core philosophy of everything we've unpacked today. Relationships are always an energy exchange. You have the absolute right to protect your peace, to set boundaries, and to surround yourself with supportive, heart-centered people who make you feel secure rather than exhausted. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. If you look closely at your own circle right now, who is lifting you up? And more importantly, who do you need to set a firm boundary with today? Really think about it. Don't wait. Protect your energy. Thank you so much for joining me for this Survival Guide Explainer. I hope this structured breakdown has empowered you to take control of your energy and your relationships. Keep setting those boundaries, keep protecting your peace, and above all, stay curious. I'll catch you in the next explainer.